Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Daily Sales Message Podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice. It's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff too. At least that's the plan. Right, today we're talking about networking when you meet people. It doesn't just have to be networking, but when you meet people, I want you to be rude. I want you to not introduce yourself. But let me explain. What I want you to do, let's say you're in a room, you've walked over to a group of 3 or 4 people. I want you to ask every single person who they are and what they do, take a real interest in them, ask questions, see if you can help them in any way, but shine the spotlight, put the focus firmly on them and do it for as long as physically possible. Why? Well, because eventually they're going to want to reciprocate and turn the spotlight back on you. Say, oh my God, James, we were talking about me for so long. Please tell me, what do you do? How can I help you? And that's when they're actually eager to hear about you and they want to know who you are. If you just introduce yourself at the start, they're like, oh, okay, James, don't really care who he is. But if I'm anticipating your introduction because I've waited so long and you've already done some nice things for me, it changes the game a little bit, doesn't it? And it's unusual. Most people, when they meet other people, go straight with, hi, I'm James, and blah, blah, and there we go. They don't immediately go, no, tell me about you first. Let me just learn about you and what you're up to and blah, blah, blah. Most people don't do that. So it's a little bit of a pattern interrupt. It's something different. And what we're trying to do is get them to build anticipation where they want to know about us. Because trust me, that's a great way to introduce yourself, from which to introduce yourself when somebody really wants to know who you are. So the next time you're in a networking situation in particular, please do not introduce yourself. Put it off for as long as possible. Be rude like that. Focus on other people. Ask questions. Show real interest in them. And eventually they'll want to shine the spotlight back on you. And that, my friend, is when you're in business. Right, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Tomorrow in episode 443, we're looking at the concept of 2 is too many. 2 is too many. But I'll explain more about that in tomorrow's episode. If you haven't already, please hit the like, subscribe, share button, comment, whatever you need to do to interact with this podcast, whether you're watching it or listening to it, whatever. It just helps us to reach more people, and I'd be very grateful. Thanks very much. Right, thank you for listening and watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it. I'll catch you tomorrow for another edition of the Daily Sales Message.